and welcome to today's segment of The Power of Money with Michelle Graves, your host, and known nationally for over, 40 years as the Money Lady, where I address all kinds of issues that are of a financial nature, but I also go into other areas that can have an impact on the quality of our lives. My hope and my passion and my desire is that you leave these shows empowered to make changes in your life. All of us need to be open to more information, more knowledge, better decision making, and therefore better outcomes. And particularly given the times we're in now, and I don't want to speak lightly of this, hear me well. You must be aware, self-aware to begin with. You've got to know yourself. You've got to know the times we're in, what people are dealing with. Today's show is an exceptional show because I am going to be interviewing April Ballantine, who is a domestic survivor, domestic violence survivor. I talked to her well over a year ago when I was doing a whole series on domestic violence. And listeners, you would be shocked at the numbers of people that are living lives that are akin to hell itself. April Ballantine is a survivor, and one that I appreciate so very, very much as we look and deal with what we're looking and dealing with. I want to share that with you. I'm not going to delay. She's coming in digitally to talk to us from Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm excited about talking with her to see how things have moved in her life as she has moved forward. Good morning, April.
Good morning, Michelle.
I'm so glad you came.
I'm blessed to be here.
I know you are. Let's bring our viewers current on your story, because many of them may not know, may not remember. We have a national audience, so can you refresh our viewers?
Absolutely, absolutely. 12 years ago, I was shot 5 times, flatlined 3 times. They gave me blood 3 times. Um, I was actually laying on the floor when he shot over me. And I would say he was a bad shot because I'm still here and it wasn't my time. Um, I would say from that point, I had to basically learn life all over again in a different manner, but still be who I am. And I'm still on that journey of understanding, I would say, my different behaviors from the trauma that I experienced. Um, I'm learning the triggers of anxiety, the triggers of having panic attacks, and understanding where it's coming from and how to push through them. So it'll always be a continuous journey. I see myself as always learning. However, I will never be a victim again. I will always be a survivor, and I will always continue to arise.
That is so powerful. And you know I support your position because it's very important that we move forward and that we are able to look back retrospectively and first thanking God for his goodness, because you could have been unalived, as the young people say today. And the other
Yes.
thing is that you have taken your pain and turned it into something very, very special. How are you dealing with the physical challenges of having been shot? Was it in your abdomen or was it in your back? What did he do?
So I was shot 5 times. Believe it was 3 times in the upper body and the torso, between my shoulder and my back. Once in my forearm, is like a defense
Hmm.
wound, and once in my left leg.
And were you paralyzed or were you just injured? Not that
I
any of it
was
is light, none of this lightweight, but I just
no,
need to get clarity.
Yes, I was immediately paralyzed because apparently one of the bullets, I would say, grazed my spine.
Ugh.
Um, so, of course, I didn't understand at the moment, and I didn't understand, I would say, probably the full 2.5 weeks that I was in intensive care at the hospital. So I didn't learn the paralysis part until I went to the rehab hospital.
And that's when you found out that you were paralyzed from the waist down or back?
Actually, from my breastbone down.
Mm. And what was the doctor's prognosis of your situation? Recoverable, non recoverable?
Non-recoverable. They call it a complete spinal cord injury. However, I don't call it a complete injury. I don't see it as that because a lot of things that someone that's actually paralyzed cannot feel, I do feel. I
Hmm.
can feel myself sitting in this chair. I can feel the things that I can't feel would be a feather like touch, um, possibly heat,
Mm-hmm.
but pressure, absolutely. If I'm in an awkward position or if something is uncomfortable, I can definitely feel that.
Okay. Okay. So you're able to have at least some sensations.
Absolutely,
Okay.
yes,
Okay. And obviously he did not touch your face or injure that area.
correct.
Oh, that's a blessing. That
It is a
really is.
blessing because from the event that occurred, it was all on video. And the very first thing that he did was point the gun at my face.
Oh,
And I was able to swat the gun away to where it didn't go off in my face.
oh, my
Yes.
goodness, my goodness. What were you thinking at that time? Can you remember what your thoughts were at that time?
Well, I will say actually, when everything began, um, he was behind me and he turned me around to talk to me, and I didn't want to talk to him. So when he raised his shirt up and I saw the butt of the gun,
Oh,
that's when I blacked out.
wow.
And I didn't hear the gun go off. I never felt the bullet hit me. I just remember waking up on the floor. And when I woke up, there was a white sheet over me. And I just kept saying, I've got to get up. I've got to get up. I've got to get
Hmm.
up. Not knowing what had actually occurred. Um, and I heard a voice that said, "No, April, please just lay still. Just lay still." And I heard sirens. And then I couldn't breathe and I faded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I will say I woke up the next day, didn't know, what had happened, didn't know where I was, don't recall anything other than, prior to seeing the butt of the gun. And I still had my personality. I was in good spirits.
That's
And,
good.
I was just happy to see everybody.
That is such a remarkable story. That is that you blanked out
I
and
did.
probably the brain just shut down. And that was the end of it. To
That was
spare
God's
you,
protection.
I truly believe that was God's protection, April. I do.
Yes.
I believe it was. So you found yourself in intensive care at the hospital or just regular admission? Were
Oh
you?
no, I was definitely in intensive care because it was touch and go.
Oh
Um,
God. Hmm.
when I woke up the next day, I had chest tubes on both sides. They had used the needle to release the pressure in my lungs,
Mm.
and that was on site. That was not at the hospital.
Okay.
Um, so there was things that they did out in the field that they typically would not do, that was able to keep me here.
So how long were you in intensive care after this disaster?
I was there about 2.5 weeks.
Okay, and at that time they were just trying to stabilize you, or trying to make sure that you had were in a recoverable position, would you say?
Correct. I think it was more of being stabilized,
Mm-hmm.
um, because, you know, considering I flatlined 3 times, you
Whew.
know,
Mm.
I couldn't begin to say, what their concerns would be, or, what could potentially happen from, that trauma.
Right, I can only understand. Did you think you were going to die?
Oh, I knew I was not going to die. I
Wow.
knew that, I knew that getting away from that relationship was going to be difficult, but I had no idea it would be to this extreme.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I always felt safe in knowing that God was going to protect me and make sure that I was okay, regardless of what it was.
So, what would you say to women that are in? Because how did you meet this guy? Do you remember how you met him? Was it church? Was it social? Was it at the
It was a
bar?
social setting. It was a
Okay.
social setting. And at the time, I thought we had a lot in common because I was very athletic. I was very active in the gym and working out. And um, that's, I think those are the things that triggered the communication and the
Mm-hmm.
building of a relationship.
You had these common things.
Correct,
Okay. So
correct.
he was at the gym as well. Would you say he worked out and took care of his body?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay. So I could see how a lot of stuff goes on in fitness places. People do
Yes.
hook up. They do. They have a commonality, shared interest. But at the point you realized that there was not a um, basis for continuing further,
hmm
what did you do?
So I will actually, what happened was I started to recognize different behaviors that were
Mm-hmm.
red flags.
Okay.
And I didn't see those red flags. So I'm trying to process the relationship and how did I miss this?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that I necessarily missed it. It's that a lot of times people with different mental situations that they're
Mm-hmm.
facing, they are able to hide different behaviors for so long. And then they don't have that ability to hide them anymore. They basically kind of seep through.
Mm-hmm.
And the seep through was the red flags
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
So once I started to see that, it was somewhat too late um,
What
to
do you,
make
what do
an
you,
easy exit.
okay, when you say too late, what does that mean?
Basically means he didn't want to break up. It was a challenge to end the relationship. I couldn't prove any deceit or anything that I could say, hey, I'm leaving because of.
Because you're crazy.
Um, I'm sorry.
I think because you're crazy. You, I already know what you were thinking after the first push up. There's something wrong with this guy. I need to
Yes,
do I need to exit quickly.
yes, and I could
Ladies, I
not
hope
get
you
him
all
to
are
leave.
listening.
Please take heed. Please take heed. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
That's what Maya Angelou said. But you
Yes.
know what? It's a
And
funny thing. People, they really don't believe they're dealing with a person who is dysfunctional mentally,
correct.
because it's not like a physical ailment where they're limping or, they got a patch over
No.
their head. I mean, when a person has crossed over into the abyss, as I call
Yes.
it, which is, I don't know what's back there, um,
Correct.
then how do you know? Were there indicators that things were not okay?
There were different things that would occur, different times that I would see his personality change.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
be it he was mentally aggressive, but not physically aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I would look into his eyes and see nothing.
Oh, Okay.
There,
And
it was just total emptiness or total darkness.
yeah.
Um, that's when I would see his character change. Um, so I was learning to, I learned how to tame the beast.
How is that possible? How, I mean, talk to me because there are women who are involved. In fact, domestic violence is now on the rise. It had
Yes.
I mean, there was a lot of involvement, a lot of groups, but now this thing is going back up. And of course, I predict it's the result of the economy, the fact that many of these dysfunctional people cannot keep a job or get a job, and therefore they're tripping. And if they're involved in a relationship involving family and children, and he can no longer play the role of provider and protector, then I would think that might be a trigger. And that's the only reason I'm asking this. Did you discern anything? Did you talk to him about, hey, are you having a bad day? Come on.
I would, you know, you have to be careful with how you approach someone like that.
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't say, are you having a bad day? I would be more like, are you okay?
Okay. Are you? Oh, that's open
Is
ended.
is something wrong? Did you have a bad day?
Yeah.
Um, because you can tell by someone's mannerisms, how they communicate, and how they physically move, that
Mm.
their mindset is changing.
Okay. So when in your particular situation, when you begin to pick up triggers, which is if you said a certain thing or you were moving in a certain direction that meant distancing, you trying to figure out how to get rid of him.
Yes.
I know that feeling. I do. And I know a lot of women know that feeling when you want to get rid of them, but it's like they literally have Velcro on their body and
Yes.
they will
They
not
will not
budge.
leave.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And I will say, you know, during this process of trying to figure out how to get him to leave, um, I was also probably a little stubborn in saying, I'm not leaving because this is my house. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
mine, so he has to leave. But how do you get that person to leave is the scary part. Not realizing that it's scary, but realizing that it's not just you can't stay here anymore or we can't live together.
See, I've always been, this is a challenge for me personally. You've got a male, I guess it could be a female, you've got a male in your home. And
Hmm.
unless you are very skilled trying to eject a person from your home, can be a challenge. But if they have
Yes.
nowhere to go, if they don't have job stability, they don't have family, they don't have understanding friends, children that might be willing to give them help, or even the ability to stay in a hotel, which does require financial means. You just can't move into a hotel unless you can pay the hotel daily rate. So you've got these challenges. So would you say retrospectively that females should never let them in their house to begin with?
Correct.
Don't let him in.
Don't let him in. Um, do not allow that access.
Okay. I was just
Um,
hearing in the state that I reside in, Ohio, if he stays in that house a certain period of time, he actually has status as a tenant. And
mhm.
you can't get him out unless you file court action to have him
Bring,
evicted. And I've always wondered, how do you do that and maintain some reasonable decorum, because if you don't like a person, you certainly don't want them in your home.
Correct.
Yeah, right. So I just was wondering if that was your retro, which is don't let him in to begin with.
Don't let them in to begin with. I have learned a lot through this process. And when I bought my home 5 years ago, I decided, I don't want, this may sound silly, but I don't want a man to come in and say, hey, can we watch TV? Invite me to your home and let me
Yes.
come and watch your TV and sit
Oh,
on your
right,
couch.
right. I would think
Exactly.
that, but I know a lot of times, particularly if you're dealing with a narcissistic type of personality or a guy that is used to dominating and controlling women in general, just,
Hmm.
that would be a challenge, but I would think that that would be something that women can control. You don't have to do that.
Correct.
And you don't want to do it
No,
unless it's his house, period. And then you
that
can,
is correct.
okay. So, some of the things that you have learned as you look back, what are some of those things that you're comfortable sharing with my audience?
I will say some of the things that I have learned is your home is your peace.
Yes,
And
I agree.
your home, you should feel safe.
Mm-hmm.
You should feel protected. You shouldn't be violated. Um, your home is what you make it to be. And when you allow someone in that can disturb your peace, that affects your whole livelihood. And so, with that, I have learned not to allow anything to disturb my peace, be it in my home or be it in my personal well being, be it mentally, emotionally, and physically.
So I've heard it argued because a lot of women are saying this today, and I'm glad to hear it. And I'm sure there's some men saying it too. I need my peace. This woman's driving me crazy. What, when you say peace, what does that mean to you?
Peace meaning someone else's behavior cannot change my personality or the things that I do.
That's true. That's a good one.
Um,
That's a good one.
Not just having a peaceful mindset, but understanding peace and knowing that I'm okay with whatever goes on around me
Mm-hmm.
and not just what involves me. So I don't allow distractions to change my thought process.
Okay. So you don't get sidetracked on other people's stuff.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
That's
I
good.
don't I don't allow that interference to change the way that I feel about being in my own shoes, so to speak.
Okay.
Be it home, be it work location, living location, whatever it is that you're doing. I protect myself with my peace.
Okay. Do you think that women, I don't like to generalize because there are always exceptions to the rule, but
Hmm.
do you think that we live in a society where women have been programmed to put our peace on pause, hold, non existent, not going to happen, and that we have acquiesced to the madness and even the bullying that this appears to do? Because, be open with you, we're now living in a system where bullying from the top of leadership down seems to be the modus operandi of this country, where it's
Yes.
acceptable to call women female dogs, more perverted to call men female dogs, and to say all kinds of things that are just terrible about
Well,
humans.
it's interesting that you say female dogs because what I used to get out of this relationship was the next time you call me out of my name, which was a female dog, I'm done. And
Mm.
that was the tool that I used, and that's what actually got him out of my house.
Was you telling him that? Would he have left without you having to go to that point?
No.
He would not.
And when we got to that point, that was the very first time that he put his hands on me, and he went to jail that night, and he never came back in my home.
Good.
Um, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying good. Good.
Yes. He We were at someone's house, and we were talking about what was going on that evening, because it was his birthday and we were out celebrating. And I was asking other people around us not to buy him drinks or buy him shots, because people didn't know it, but I knew that he couldn't handle it. Um, Maybe a beer or something, that was fine, but anything beyond that, it did not mix with the, I will say, mental behaviors that
Okay.
he was
Okay.
experiencing.
Do you
Um,
feel, as you look back, because you recognize that he possibly had a drinking problem, did he have any other kinds of drugs in his life besides
Not
that?
that I was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But I did hear after the fact that there were, other drugs that were involved. I never saw
Mm-hmm.
him do anything or anything like that. So I'm not really certain of what they were, or if
Mm-hmm.
he actually did, or if it was just mental challenges that he experienced, that
Mm-hmm.
he had.
Did you know anything about his family?
Not enough mentally to say,
Mm-hmm.
maybe this came from, you know, a sibling, or different family members. But the only thing that I can certainly say, that I know he lost his mother at an early age.
Ah, so
um,
who raised him from the estrogen side? Did
his
he have
siblings.
his siblings raised him?
Yes.
Okay,
So there was an older sister and an older brother.
and they raised him.
Correct.
Okay, so did he have a dad in his life?
He had a dad in his life that told him that he would never be anything.
That's just really affirming.
Correct.
So the child is motherless, raised by
Correct.
his siblings, and with a
Correct.
mentally cruel father.
Correct.
That's a bad, bad, bad story.
Yes.
He needed help a long time. He was traumatized.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I will say, as a woman, as a mother, we are nurturers,
Yes, we are.
and that's just automatic. That's not something that we choose. It's just there. And I would say, as a nurturer, I wanted to show him something different in life. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted him to um, see things or feel as though he was valuable.
Yeah.
He did have a worth,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a life out there that's positive, and you can enjoy. Um, However, I
Yep.
learned that you can't change anyone when they're already who they are.
Well, that's one of the dilemmas because I really think you're talking about a narcissist. And
Hmm.
and at least from all the research I've done, that's not curable. You can send them to therapy, but they never
Correct.
have an awareness of how bizarre they are. And you can't
Correct.
change them.
You cannot change that.
That's what I'm hearing. And I think a lot of this, I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist. I'm just learning. Last 3 years, I went deep into the trauma piece because something has to be resolved. We cannot have all of this going on I
Correct.
mean, you're sitting there eating dinner, then all of a sudden this person goes rogue at the dinner
Yes.
table. And you're like,
Yes.
is there a
Correct.
psychologist around here that can help us? But this is something that I really pursued. And after talking with you, it made me go even deeper the last time because we want them to get help. We want them as enablers, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
empathetic, care, loving. But when you realize that the only thing you can do is no contact in life, never again, don't make an exception because they're not with you,
That's
or
right.
lock them up. And the prisons are filled with people that have had horrible parents,
Yes.
horrible childhood experiences because their
Yes.
parents are crazy, grandparents, and I just don't know. That's why I'm having you back to see what you
Mm-hmm.
perhaps had seen and did not go that road. You didn't think about him being unbalanced, correct or not?
I did not. I didn't see that he was unbalanced or anything. I will say that I started seeing somewhat manic behaviors that were based on emotion.
Okay, that estrogen.
Um,
Woo.
and it was extreme, to where it could be something as small as he's showing me something, I don't like it, and or I didn't think it was nice, or
Yeah,
and when I say that, I don't mean a behavior, I mean something physical. It could be, I don't know, a pair of shoes, and I'll say, well, I didn't like those shoes, or where did you get them? And then immediately he changes and throws them across the room and says, I got these because I thought you'd like them.
that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're women. We may not. Okay, you
Right.
don't beat people up because they don't like the shoe. I mean, you don't
Exactly.
like the shoe, but that isn't a sign. And I know that we like to categorize. This type of behavior is you need anger management. And sometimes I wonder if that's realistic or not. Because if they're on that spectrum where the behavior is narcissistic, it's ingrained, pain management or anger management is not going to resolve that situation. I don't have any answers. That's why I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if we all, if anyone has the true answer, because I will say mental behaviors are different from everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You may have, five narcissists in one room, and they're five totally different narcissists to where their
Mm-hmm.
behaviors are different.
Yeah.
Um, So it's really hard to say, what works for someone as
Mm-hmm.
far as be it therapy or classes or management, because that individual also has to understand what they're dealing with and be open to receive help to be, if it's a better person or um, just a shot at a better life.
That would be nice because I
Mm-hmm.
have concluded, and it's a sad story, but I have concluded that if you are involved with that type of personality, you got to get rid of them or you better run yourself. You don't
Absolutely.
have to be a heroine. You just got to cut your losses, cut the contact, and as Pink Panther, stage left. I'm out.
Yes.
I mean,
Exit to the left.
exit
Yes.
to the left. I see, I like that. Exit to the left. So you, the man was caught and jailed while you're in recovery, sorta. And how long did he remain incarcerated? Do you know before he came to trial?
Uh, I would say mm, anywhere from anywhere from 6 months to a year.
He stayed in jail.
Um, yes,
Okay, we got free
yes,
meal, free bed.
yes,
Okay.
yes. And um, I don't know how to say this, and because I could be wrong, but this is just my
That's
opinion.
okay. You're entitled to
Um,
an opinion.
Sometimes people with behavioral issues, be it mental, um, they don't want the responsibility
Of what?
and
Of working?
of be it working, be it providing,
Oh,
be
okay.
it supportive,
Okay.
um, but they want that for themselves and they don't want to have to provide it. Um,
Sounds like a parasite to me. That's what bugs do.
mhm.
Like parasites.
um, but I would say, a lot of the challenges that we had or experienced were from me forcing the issue of, I'm not doing this on my own.
Right.
Uh, you're not staying here for free. You know, no, we're not going to eat steaks every day.
Right.
If you do, you can buy that steak. You
Yourself.
can buy that seafood, whatever it is. Um, so it was a lot of back and forth like that, trying to create a balance in life, of not being extreme to one point and extreme to another point. Um, when you deal with someone that doesn't have a lot or doesn't have the family support that you may experience, it creates, I would say, you have more than what I have,
Yeah. Because you're not a
and I
team.
want what you have.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's move forward.
Mhm.
I think the guy who is still in jail
Mhm.
forever, thank God for Kentucky women judges. I'm not kidding
Yes.
you. I don't know if the
Yes.
outcome would have been the same if it would have been a male judge, but it was a
Mhm.
female judge, and she got him. She
Yes,
got him.
she did.
He won't have a chance to do harm to another
No.
female. He'll probably
No,
die in
he
jail.
he actually got 35 years.
Stop.
Um,
Oh my gosh. Okay.
He's eligible for parole after 17. However, I know that he will never get that parole. I don't have any question, any doubt, that he will ever receive any kind of parole. I continue to carry a domestic violence order against
Yes.
him. I have to have it renewed every 3 years.
That's okay.
Um, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
However, I think the law should change
Tell me
when
more.
it's been an extreme situation that I've experienced. I don't think it's something that has to be renewed. I think it should be a lifetime um, protection order, from that person, because regardless of what that person goes through as far as trying to better themselves in
Who
prison
cares?
or whatever, what happened happened, and that can never be changed.
So what do now I know currently you are working.
Yes.
You got a body skeleton? Is that what you are in right now? What?
So
Okay.
it's what they call an exoskeleton.
Okay.
And so it was about, let's see, it was 3 years ago. Yeah, it'll be
Yes.
3 years ago come November, August, really. I started training in the exoskeleton. And so I wanted to reach a goal. I had a goal um, to meet, for to keep my desire and wanting to do it, not just to walk, but
Yeah.
to actually have a goal. And the goal was to walk at my daughter's wedding.
Ah, that's
Yes.
beautiful. That's
And
beautiful.
because I will say in my victim impact statement, one of the things that I said was, I wouldn't be able to get on the floor and play with grandkids, or be able
Mm-hmm.
to walk with my daughter down the aisle. Um, just a lot of different things that
Mm-hmm.
interfered with my mobility. But I wanted to overcome that. I didn't want that to come true. I
Okay.
wanted to change the narrative. And with that was for me to walk at her wedding.
And that happened.
And and that happened.
Oh my goodness. I know that the church just
It
got
was There
awesome.
was not a dry eye
At all.
at all. No.
You, so you're now working with this exoskeleton as a part of your life, correct?
Not as of the moment. I do still have it,
Okay.
which I would have to go back into therapy to, get back to using it
Mm-hmm.
before I could use it independently. Because it is a very heavy piece of
Oh,
equipment
okay.
that you have to, strap into, and you have to know how to use so that you understand how to stop,
I'm
how
sure.
and how to go.
Yeah, you don't want to crash in one of those. I would think not.
No,
Mm-mm.
not at all.
So,
And
yeah, go on.
oh, I was just going to say, a lot of things are changing, um, so much. Now the exoskeleton, you're able to walk up steps.
Oh, really?
Um, yes, in mine you cannot.
Mm-hmm.
But technology is improving and changing, and it is amazing to see the different opportunities that exist for so many people.
So, what are you doing now for livelihood?
For now, I changed my narrative, so to speak, because I did work in the sheriff's office in the domestic violence division as an advocate
Mm-hmm.
and intake specialist for 7 years.
Okay.
But what I didn't recognize is that I was traumatizing myself over and
Over
over
and
and
over.
over.
Yeah, okay, I got
Yes.
it.
So I
Okay.
learned that the only person that can protect me is God and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to recognize those things that were unsafe. And once I did that, I removed myself from that situation. Not that I don't advocate for others, because I do. And if someone is experiencing a domestic violence situation, I'm definitely here for them.
Mm-hmm.
However, I cannot spend my days in and out
No,
in that atmosphere
no,
without having some type of mental blockage or mental disruption that's not safe for me in my environment.
I understand. So what did
Um,
you transitioned out of the sheriff's department into?
yes, so I have transitioned from domestic violence into durable medical equipment,
Okay.
which is more of wheelchairs,
Mm-hmm.
people with, I will say, different abilities, because I don't see myself as disabled. I see myself as an able bodied person. I just do things different.
Ah, I like that. I like that.
Yes.
And how has the market responded to your being in a role with DME? Have people been receptive when you try to talk to them about the importance of equipment to change the quality of their life?
Absolutely, because so the people that I deal with, they understand what they need
Okay.
as far as equipment to create a better life or an easier life for them.
Okay.
Um, where someone in someone that works in that field that may not have that type of experience of being paralyzed or
Mm-hmm.
something in the need of medical equipment, they may
Mm-hmm.
not understand the full extent of, well, you may see it as a wheelchair, but I see it as my legs.
Ah, got it. That's a
So if I
significant
don't have my
difference, though.
legs,
That's
yes, if I don't
significant.
have my legs,
I'm in
I
trouble.
can't get up and move around.
Right, right.
So what I'm able to express to people is true understanding of their needs, because their needs are very similar to my needs.
So I want to ask a question because our time is wrapping up quickly. And I want to go
Mm-hmm.
deep. And if you don't feel comfortable answering, you can just say, no. I'm a flexible person. Do you hate this guy?
No, I don't hate anybody.
Okay. Now I ask it as an open ended question because most
Mm-hmm.
people think the harbor hate is just so anti Christian. That's so anti life. But some
Mm-hmm.
crimes are so heinous
They are.
that, I mean, so unspeakably horrible that I would have to say that if you did hate him, I don't think anybody would be
But
mad. But tell me
no.
what the benefit of your forgiving him was for you. We don't care about
Yes.
him, but you.
So honestly, I forgave him before all of this even happened.
Wow.
How? You tell me.
Ah,
But by the grace of God. Um, I knew that my faith was strong. I knew that God was always with me, and I knew that God would always keep me safe. So, in the result of what happened is not about me
mm-hmm.
at all, by far. God chose me because I chose Him.
Mm,
And God knew that I could carry this and make a difference in others and let them see that He's real
mm, mm.
and He's alive with us.
I appreciate your candor in addressing that because I think that a lot of people have been hurt on many levels throughout the course
Hmm.
of life,
Hmm.
and that the response is either I hate them forever.
Hmm.
I've run into people that said totally unforgivable. Don't ask me to raise the bar and have me forgive them because they're a cockroach or something crazy.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
And you were
Yes,
able to do this, so you don't have any weight related to that situation on your shoulders. Is that correct?
that is correct. That allows me to be free.
Oh my goodness.
The forgiveness allows me to be able to live my life, not sit and dwell in what happened, not sit and question why me, because it
Mm,
could be anybody.
it really
Um,
could be.
it's just what you choose to do with your life
Hmm.
is where you go with it.
So a person that has done something like that, based upon your view, why not just let them go out and be free? Let them come out of prison if they've been forgiven. You don't hold an angst against them.
Um, I have forgiven, but I haven't forgotten.
Thank you. There is a difference.
And I will never forget. Just because I've forgiven doesn't mean that I like this person, but it also doesn't mean that I hate this person.
Mm-hmm.
It just means that I'm able to meet this person where they are and keep them there.
Mm-hmm. He probably doesn't even know why he did that.
Well, I will tell you, each time we have gone back to court, I
Mm-hmm.
have never been referred to as my name from him. He has always referred to me as that woman.
That woman. That's a
Yes.
book. That woman.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is
That
what
woman
that
and how
woman.
she tamed the beast.
Whoa. So we got 5 minutes left. I want you to
Yes.
talk to me about where you're going. Tell me where your mind is set now.
Where my mind is set now is making sure I live my life to the fullest extent every day.
Yes. Love it.
Every
Every day.
because tomorrow, the next 5 minutes, when we finish this call, is not promised.
It
It's
is
not
not.
promised.
It is
There's so
not.
many things going on in this world today. Um, if I live myself saying if I live my life saying that I can't do something, I never will.
Right.
I never will.
Right.
So I try my best to live my life to the fullest every day.
And so that's a conscious decision you've made. That I'm
Yes,
going to live my
absolutely.
life.
That
Okay.
is right.
Okay.
That is
So,
right.
so would you say that after this trial, as I say, you have, and your conscious decision to set goals and vision and all that you have
Hmm.
experienced more joy?
Absolutely. Because I will say, not just more joy, but the appreciation of joy.
That's good. That's very
The
good.
appreciation of joy. Um, because joy is what you make it,
It is.
but you can't make it if you don't understand it.
You're right. You're right. I'm just concerned, as I said, when I was reading, updating data, and they were talking about how domestic violence had increased so significantly since we last talked, and that
Yes.
the level of cruelty, and it's now domestic violence with children being the
With
perpetrator.
children.
The children are killing people.
Yes.
And I was like, the babies have become
Yes.
criminals,
Yes.
killing, I mean, heinous stuff.
Or
And
you see that the parents are killing the children,
uh,
the baby.
I'm like, what is happening here? There has
Hmm.
to be an answer. There has to be an answer.
It's got to be something,
Oh,
I don't know if we're able to, figure out what that something is.
mm-hmm,
Um, but I will say domestic violence, mental behaviors,
mm-hmm.
peace, everything is a process.
It is.
And we have to learn to understand, what gets somebody to this point.
I know.
Um, and a lot of times we don't look at the in between. We
We
just
just
see
look at
what's
the
there.
end. Well, on that note, our time is wrapping up. First, I want to thank you, April Ballantine, for being a remarkable human being, a
Thank you.
remarkable woman, a remarkable mother, a remarkable daughter. I want to thank you for your story because it is a compelling story. No question.
Yes.
And to know that your perpetrator is still alive, but you are free. And I just want to
Yes.
thank you on behalf of all of the millions of women and children throughout the world who are living this nightmare on a daily basis and don't know
Yes.
where to go. That there is an April Ballantine that is out here that did make it through and that did
Yes.
survive. And so I want to thank you from the depths of my heart, April, for being the kind of a woman that can stand as a beacon of hope for so many people in these treacherous, treacherous, treacherous times. And so I bless you today. And again, I thank you for the opportunity to talk with you openly about your comeback. And I know you're going to be fine. I know that God's going to continue to shower His love and His peace and His joy on you and your life. I'm confident of this. So I thank you so much. And to those of you that are viewing in on The Power of Money with Michelle Graves, I thank you for listening in. God bless you today. Ah, yeah, I did it. Sue me. Okay. God bless you today. And may His peace be upon you. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Michelle Graves, Power of Money. You take care. Bye-bye.